Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with the Pastors. We're back,
I've got a Christmas mug.
and I'm already out of coffee.
That's a shame.
I know. I'll brew more when we're done here.
Well, it was nice to gather with many of you in worship yesterday. We focused on John 11, the text of the raising of Lazarus. If you were able to participate, you'll hopefully remember the story, but just to give you a refresher, Jesus is gallivanting around the countryside with his disciples when he gets word that Lazarus is very ill. And instead of going right away to heal him, he lingers where he is, and then by the time he gets there, Lazarus has died. So he has some really great conversations with Lazarus' sisters about being the resurrection and the life. And when he gets to where Lazarus is entombed in a cave, he weeps. He openly weeps. And yesterday, that was a reminder for us to kind of feel what we're feeling in all of this that's going on. So eventually, then of course, he does raise Lazarus from the dead, and it's kind of an incredible moment of the people that witnessed it believing in Jesus.
It's interesting in John 11, then, if you keep reading past the raising of Lazarus, immediately it moves into the plot to kill Jesus. So for the chief priests and the Pharisees, Lazarus is just the last straw, because certainly everyone's going to believe Jesus now. And there's a lot of great grand fear from the chief priests and Pharisees that if people start following Jesus, then their control ends, that the Romans will come in and they will take away the temple and they will take away their nationhood. And if they take away the temple and the nation, well, then there's no need for chief priests and Pharisees. And they lose the last thing that they feel like they have any control over. And so because of all that, they plot to kill Jesus.
I guess Jesus gets wind of this, and he ends up going into a sort of physical distancing himself. John 11:54 says, "Therefore Jesus no longer moved about publicly among the people of Judea. Instead, he withdrew to a region near the wilderness, to a village called Ephraim, where he stayed with his disciples."
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's interesting then that even as the early prep for the Passover celebration begins in Jerusalem, people are beginning to wonder, well, where is Jesus? We haven't seen him for a while. So Audrey and I are into the throes of planning for Passover celebration, or as Christians celebrate it today as Holy Week, including Palm Sunday, which is this coming Sunday, and then Maundy Thursday, the night we do Love Feast in the Church of the Brethren, and Good Friday, Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday. And you know, some of us are probably wondering, like those early Jesus followers, where's Jesus? Where's Jesus in all this? Because boy, does it feel different. But we're reminded that we know the ending of the story of Holy Week, and we know that we live in the age of resurrection. And so we know that the risen Jesus is near, and he will be made known in the days ahead. He's going to show up. He's not in hiding. He's not distancing himself at all. He's here. It's just some of our methods for seeing him have changed. So the invitation as we make our Passover celebrations, our Holy Week preparations, to look for Jesus and know that Audrey and I are making plans for a different kind of Holy Week, one in which maybe we see the fullness of the person Jesus. Joke time?
Joke time. Want me to go first?
Sure.
What do we have that Adam never had?
I don't know, Audrey.
Ancestors.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yours is not any better.
No, it's not. On the ark,
Mm-hmm.
Noah probably got milk from the cows.
That's right.
But what do you think he got from the ducks?
I don't know.
Quackers.
Like crackers.
Crackers,
but
yeah.
quack.
They go nicely with milk.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Well, folks, see you tomorrow.